Yeast infection treatment.
Hello, I'm Linda, and I have an unusual Candida yeast infection story to share with you today. It's about how I completely got rid of my severe yeast infection and how I finally regained my health after 12 years of suffering. How did I do it? Well, a lot of what really worked for me is stuff you probably won't read about in conventional medicine books or health magazines, and I bet it will work for you too. I'm going to tell you my story because it's probably very similar to yours. It doesn't matter if you're a guy or a gal, anyone who struggles with yeast infection will relate to this story. And if you watch this entire video, which will not be online for long, I will do more than just tell you a story. I will give you the solution I discovered and use to this very day. In this video, I'm going to show you how to get rid of your existing Candida infection symptoms in 12 hours and how to eliminate the root cause of your yeast infection in the next 30 days so that you can gain complete and permanent freedom from Candida yeast infection and its related symptoms for good. I have never given away this much information before in a free video that you can watch all in one sitting, so I hope you won't miss this opportunity to gain critical knowledge that will empower your health for decades to come. There are 3 easy principles you must understand in order to get rid of your yeast infection for good. The 3 critical principles you must know are: 1. What Candida yeast infection really is and why you have it. 2. What doesn't work and what makes your yeast infection worse. 3. The only proven way to get rid of Candida yeast infection forever. So, what can you expect if you embrace these 3 easy principles? Well, you can permanently cure your yeast infection within 30 to 60 days, stop vaginal, male, and oral yeast infections within 12 hours, eliminate fatigue, muscle aches, and mood swings completely, end digestive disorders and allergies, reverse skin-related yeast infections, stop the rashes, burning, itching, and discomfort, save thousands of dollars on drugs and doctor visits, regain your energy and vitality, and dramatically improve your quality of life. So let me reiterate. If you watch this video from start to finish and follow what I teach you, you will undoubtedly see and feel your yeast infection fade away. The first thing I discovered in my 12 years of research was that almost everyone is getting ripped off by the drug and pharmaceutical companies. The pharmaceutical and drug industries are loaded with snake oil marketers who are getting rich by preying on your desperation. You need to realize this. Conventional yeast infection product and treatment providers are your enemies. They don't want you to get rid of your yeast infection because when you do, they'll lose a customer. And with every customer they lose, they also lose a lot of money. The second thing I discovered is that almost everyone is dead wrong in the way they treat their yeast infection. It's a fact. The methods you're using to treat your infection right now might be severely damaging your internal health. There's a better way to get the job done, and it's amazingly fast. I'm going to share with you 5 powerful keys to become free of Candida infection for good. Key number 1. Antifungal drugs will make your yeast infection worse. We are surrounded by medical products that claim to be yeast infection cures. In reality, however, these expensive drugs only focus on treating symptoms. No matter what your doctor tells you, taking antifungal medications, antibiotics, and steroids of any kind to treat your yeast infection will significantly damage your internal system, destroy your natural internal balance, make your infection and your health worse in the long run. These drugs will not fix the underlying environment or the root cause of your yeast infection. Key number 2. Antifungal creams, probiotics, and natural antifungals will not cure your yeast infection. Please do not fall for any antifungal creams or anti-candida probiotics that you see on infomercials, no matter how sophisticated or enticing they may appear. I've tried most of these, and they are worthless. They do not cure Candida yeast infection at all. Lotions, creams, and other topical treatments are designed to tackle the symptoms of your infection, not the real cause. After more than 12 years of research, and after experimenting with every known topical antifungal treatment available on the market, I can honestly and confidently say that there is no topical anti-yeast treatment that can cure your infection. While there are several topical treatments that may significantly alleviate the symptoms of your yeast infection, they only serve as band-aids by masking the symptoms of Candida yeast overgrowth. Probiotic therapy, which reestablishes the balance between good and bad bacteria in your digestive tract, is also useless, as it completely ignores the root cause of Candida infection. The same goes for many of the natural anti-Candida products that you see in health food stores. Killing the Candida microorganism alone is definitely not enough to achieve lasting freedom from yeast infection. You must also change your internal environment so that infections never recur. To achieve this, you need to know how to use these products effectively, when to use them, in what order, and how to combine them with other crucial protocols. Key number 3. Despite what some doctors and conventional health advocates may say, there is a strong link between diet and yeast infection. However, diet alone cannot cure Candida yeast overgrowth. Why do doctors so stubbornly insist that there is no connection between diet and yeast infection? The answer? You can't make a profit promoting a healthy diet, or at least not as much as you could by selling drugs. The truth is, the right diet, while not a solution by itself, can in many cases dramatically reduce yeast infection symptoms and help remove a significant part of your infection. Recent studies have found a strong connection between diet and yeast infection. The wrong diet is now thought to be one of the leading factors contributing to Candida yeast overgrowth. It can negatively affect the intestinal bacterial balance and the natural process of toxin elimination, thereby seriously aggravating your existing yeast infection. Nevertheless, Candida yeast infection is a complex condition that is triggered by multiple underlying factors. Therefore, the only way to neutralize your yeast infection is to tackle all of these contributing factors holistically. Since the wrong diet is only one of these infection-triggering factors, in most cases, no special diet will cure your Candida yeast infection. Key number 4. This is a very important fact that you absolutely must understand if you want to save hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Yeast infection is not just a localized surface problem, but a warning signal of a serious inner imbalance. Let's make this clear. Yeast infection is not a localized problem with your genitals, mouth, head, muscles, etc. And that is why killing the local fungus, fighting the rash, or reducing the redness will never work to completely cure your Candida yeast overgrowth. Yeast infection is a systemic problem. It's a symptom of an internal disorder that affects your whole body and manifests as skin disorders, digestive problems, migraines, etc. Yeast overgrowth is simply a big warning sign that something inside your body is wrong and needs to be corrected. Failing to diagnose and fix this problem in a timely manner can result in far more severe and chronic disorders, which can seriously endanger your health. By using drugs and creams to shut down your body's alarm system, you are practically ignoring your body's messages and neglecting the root cause of your infection, thus making your condition worse in the long run. The only way you can completely cure your yeast infection is from within, by listening to what your body is trying to tell you and working with it to eliminate the root cause of your Candida infection. Key number 5. The true cause of yeast infection and the only way to cure it permanently. No matter what anyone tells you, yeast infection is definitely not a figment of your imagination. After 12 years of research, here's what I have found to be the root cause of yeast infection, or to be more specific, the main factors responsible for yeast overgrowth. Yeast infection is a condition in which the balance of your internal environment is disrupted. There are factors and cofactors that contribute to Candida overgrowth, and there are also causative agents that aggravate an already compromised yeast infection condition. In addition to internal factors, daily life situations, external factors, and psychological, mental, or emotional factors can also directly or indirectly contribute to the environment in which Candida is able to grow and spread. The only way to stop yeast overgrowth permanently is to prevent this condition from recurring. This cannot be achieved by tackling the symptoms of Candida yeast infection alone, only by following a comprehensive, multidimensional, holistic program to tackle the underlying cause and the circumstances promoting Candida growth in your body can you regain your health and become yeast infection free for good. Let's use a metaphor to demonstrate this further. If you manage to kill all mosquitoes around a stale pond using chemicals, then for a little while there will be no mosquitoes. But since the source of the problem is still there, the stale pond where mosquitoes can feed and breed, they will always come back. The same thing applies to your yeast infection. Without fixing the internal problem and eliminating the source, the root cause, of your Candida overgrowth, you will never permanently get rid of yeast infections. Your Candida yeast infections will always come back until you do something fundamental to make your body a place where Candida overgrowth cannot exist. Okay, now that we've covered 5 key things you need to know to get rid of your yeast infection, let me introduce you to my best-selling program, Yeast Infection No More, the only holistic Candida yeast infection system in existence that will teach you how to permanently cure your yeast overgrowth, rebalance your body, and regain your vitality. Yeast Infection No More is a surefire, 100% guaranteed system that is backed by over 35,000 hours of research. This highly unique and powerful Candida overgrowth healing system has helped thousands of people worldwide. In fact, over 143,000 people in 157 countries have used this program already to get rid of their yeast infections for good. It is literally the only program you will ever need to eliminate all aspects of yeast infection and feel better than you felt in your entire life. This system has been optimized over 12 years of research, and its powerful protocols, set in unique and precise order, are specifically designed to eradicate all types of yeast infections of all levels of severity. The Yeast Infection No More program will enable you to gain complete freedom from vaginal, male, oral, and skin yeast infections, eradicate excessive Candida yeast overgrowth in the digestive tract, enhance digestive and intestinal health, eliminate food allergies, fight depression, mood swings, and anxiety related to yeast overgrowth, feel lighter, healthier, and more energetic. Yeast Infection No More is completely different from any other information source or Candida overgrowth solution because it is customizable for your unique condition. It is a lifetime solution to achieve permanent freedom from yeast infections. It was developed by a real yeast infection sufferer. It is an interactive program that shows you exactly how to overcome Candida yeast overgrowth. Yeast Infection No More works for all types of Candida infections, including mild and systemic yeast infections, vaginal yeast infection in the penis area, yeast infection on the skin surface, yeast infection in the mouth and throat, yeast infection in the bladder and kidneys, yeast infection in the urethra, yeast infection in deep organ tissues, yeast infection in the bones, joints, and muscles.
To know more and get access to yeast infection treatment program, click on the link given below this video in the description.